Hi there, it's Tracy here from the Papercraft Studio. Thank you for joining me today. So I want to show you how to make my cute, I'm going to put it around that way, little desk organiser slash calendar. So it stands, it's got its own little mechanism like that, stands. And I really wanted to use these new papers from, just gonna put it down like that, from the Sale-A-Bration brochure. So for those of you who don't know, Sale-A-Bration is a promotion that Stampin' Up run for January and through to the end of February, and there are lots of things you can earn for free with a £45 spend. So there's stamp sets, there's papers. These are the gorgeous papers we're using today. Love them. I mean, just adorable. Another stamp set, more papers, some gems, some other papers. So, oh, these are great as well. Love these papers. That's going to be in another project that I show. So some really good things in here. So if you do want to get hold of these papers or anything else in this brochure, or indeed if you want a brochure, let me know. And a mini catalogue for January through to April, but you can't buy these papers. You can only earn them with a spend. So but you know, we can all spend £45 in, and that's from any catalogue. It doesn't have to be from the new catalogue. It can be from clearance rack. It can be from a combination of the annual catalogue, the new catalogue. So you know, stock up on cardstock or treat yourself to a new stamp set maybe. So yeah, so it took me a while to design this, and it does fit, as you can see, these little square post-its, although I wouldn't choose orange normally to go in there because I don't think it goes. And then also you know, some pens, pencils, and that will stay stood up. So it's meant to be at this angle so that I could fit the calendar in. So let me go ahead and show you which supplies we need. I'm going to pop it there. So quickly show you these papers. This is what I've used for the roof up here, and I've backed it with some Pecan Pie, but oh, look at this, one of my faves here, so pretty. Just too many. I couldn't really choose which to use for this project, but these called out to me and I could get these little trio of birds here. But look at this, just beautiful. Some background papers, there's the pink, there's the blue, actually this might be fresh freesia. Some bigger birds, but look, oh, just adorable. So you know, we don't want it to run out, so either ping me an order. Sorry, my lights aren't very good here. I've got a new setup on my desk, and that bit better. It's quite a lot of shadow, isn't there? And I haven't quite figured it out. I don't think I'm doing myself any favors here. Maybe that's a bit better. I will sort it out, but yeah, I've been redoing my craft room. Sorry, just getting back to what I was saying, if you do want to, you can either place an order with me online, and if you qualify for the papers or something else in the set, or you know, more than one free product, you can multiples of 45, or you can send me your order and I'll pop it through for you if you can collect from Hersley. So enough talking, Tracy, let's go ahead and show you the supplies you'd need. And I've just knocked mine all kind of out the way, so that's not handy. Just gonna make sure I've got the right ones here. Okay, so thick basic white. There's a lot of parts to this, but hopefully you'll think it's worth it. So thick basic white, you need this piece here, which measures 3.5 inches by 5 1/4. Another piece which measures 3.5 by 3 3/4. That's for the base. This piece here measures 3 1/4 by 3 1/2, and that's for the little mechanism to make it stand at the back. You need a piece here. This is for the bigger box here. This measures sorry, it doesn't at all. It measures 5 3/4 inches by 2 1/4, and this is for the skinnier box here. And I deliberately wanted to offset the heights here. This measures 4 1/4 by 2.5 inches. You need a piece of Lost Lagoon cardstock, and this measures 3 3/8 by 3 5/8. I'll put all the measurements in the description bar below because I appreciate there's a lot. A piece of Pecan Pie cardstock, and this measures 2 by 3 inches. That's to just go under your calendar here. If your calendars are different sizes, you know, just resize that piece. And these incidentally I got from Amazon. I can pop the link below. It's UK Amazon. I don't know if that means you can still, you know, you'll get something similar, I know, wherever you are in the world. You need some scraps of pecan pie. That's for this little bit here, the little birdhouse holder. And just to strengthen this, you will also need the designer series paper. This piece here goes on the back, and just make sure if you've got a pattern like this one, it's got the little birds in, just make sure you're cutting it the right way. So it's 3 3/8 across the width by 3 5/8 top to bottom. This piece here for this pocket, this measures, again, get your birds around the right way. This one measures, let me see which one it is, 2 inches by 1 5/8, and then this little skinny piece here, again, the birds are the right way up here. This measures 1 1/4 by 1 7/8. So you can get quite a few of these out of the piece of 12 by 12 cardstock. Sorry, designer series paper. Anything else? I thought I saw something then. Oh, the little birds. I'm going to show you how to cut these out. So I'm using the stylish shape dies, but you could use a punch if you have them. So it's this little trio here that's repeated across the pattern. You can see I've been trying to get to them, but I'm just going to show you here. Some of them are too close to the bottom, which is a shame, but I'm also going to use these in a for my workshop at school, for my Mother's Day workshop. So I think I can use them again, the smaller ones, so that will be really handy. Like I said before, I use these so much. I have 2 sets. That's how much I use them. So you will need, which ones? Let me just check. The for the actual birds, you'll need the 3rd biggest. But for this little kind of birdhouse hole, can't think what it's called, you'll need the 2nd biggest and the 3rd biggest. So we're going to tape those together just to cut that kind of circular piece, and then out of that we'll cut this one, which are these 2 smaller ones in here, the smallest and the next smallest. But just, you know, if you don't want the bigger birds, you know, if you want to get more out of them, use a smaller circle and just do the same, just pick which layers. I'm also going to use this planner one for the sentiment here, so I'm just going to leave these ones out for now, and I will show you how I got the bird. I mean, pretty straightforward really, but I did it so that I could get, you know, we lose his tail a little bit, but so this one down here, I'm gonna have a bit more kind of background up here. So I'm just going to cut this out and leave as much as I can for like kind of future projects. Have I left enough scarlet? I bet I haven't. Oh, Tracy. Nope. Okay, that was a false economy. Okay, let's do this little one here. We know we've got this. So now I've got plenty below. I was trying to be thrifty and not cut another bird. So let's leave. I've got plenty underneath here. So this is all I did. Ooh, just knocked one of my cutting plates off, sorry. So literally just popped that through. I still only just got it. Pop that through and cut that little circle. So actually I'll do that now while I'm thinking about it, and I retrieve my cutting plate. I'll be back in a second. Just got it in there, look, perfect. And with this one, I haven't wasted it, because I'm just going to do another one with the smaller one and just capture a couple of birds. So you can get so much out of this paper. Okay, so let's start putting things together. So this is your back piece here, this bit here. So we're going to stick our designer series paper on here near the top. So you've got an equal small border around those edges there. Don't worry about this piece because it's going to be covered up with these boxes. Okay, so let me find my glue. Since I've moved my room around, and it's, like I say, it's not finished yet, which is really bugging me because I thought it would take about 2 days, and it's taken about 2 months. But I will be so much more organised. I can't wait. I'm already more organised, believe it or not, even though these videos are coming out very late for January. I'm just about getting them in. So this was one of my January class projects. Okay, for this bit at the top, actually I need to bring back in the stylish shapes. Again, you could just cut this. I'll give you rough measurement here, but I'm using the biggest square here. So I designed this piece so that this would overhang slightly here. So you can get 2 of these out of one of these. So what I need to do is cut a piece of Pecan Pie in one of them, and then also the Designer series paper. So it looked kind of a little woodenish, so I'm going to cut this one out as well, so I'll be right back. Cool. So we're just going to stick these 2 together. Obviously they layer perfectly because they're cut from the same thing. We're just going to, so this is just for strength on the back. So layer these together with glue, and you want to get the glue you know, a good coverage, because we're going to cut it diagonally, so we want to make sure whichever way we cut it we get some glue in there. So I'm doing it now so that we can let it dry for a bit, so that I don't kind of mess up the blade on my trimmer, but just pick it up and then you can just kind of pinchy opposing corners to get it in the right place, and then just give it a little smooth down. So we're going to chop that in half, and that's what makes this. So I'm going to leave that to dry for a few minutes. So in the meantime, let's make the boxes. So let's get the right pieces here. And my scoring tool, which I've buried. First video I've done in ages, and because I've still got stuff all over my room, I'm afraid it's a little bit disjointed, but we'll get there. Okay, so scoring tool in. Let's work on the longer one first. So this is the one that measures 5 3/4 by 2 1/4. So and I've measured these so they fit exactly kind of side to side on this. Okay, so a couple of the measurements, well, it's not too bad. We're going into 8ths, into 8ths, so it's not 16ths or anything. Right, so on the longer side, we're going to score at 2 1/8, at 2 5/8, 4 3/4, and at 5 1/4, and then turn it, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch. There. And bring in your other one. So this is the piece that measures 4 1/4 inches by 2 1/2. So we're going to score that at 1 3/8, at 1 7/8. 2, let me just check, that's not right. I'm reading the wrong one. 3 1/4. Sorry, these ones were right, so let me just recap. 1 3/8, 1 7/8, 3 1/4, and 3 3/4, and then you're going to rotate again and score at 1/2 inch. So this is the piece that measures 3 1/2 by 3 1/4. So on the 3 1/2 side, we're going to score this at 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so that's going to be our little base to hold the whole thing up. Okay, let's put this away. Right, so let me show you how to make these boxes. So we're going to fold on all of the score lines here and just give them a little burnish with a bone folder. This, in my layout, having my cutting machine right next to me was too close. Keep bashing it. So all of these fold in the same direction, and then this one at the bottom as well, and the same on this one. So just fold them all this way, give them a little burnish. And then this one along the bottom as well. Okay, so cutting these 2 and putting them together is exactly the same. So I'll show you on this bigger one here. So you've got big section, small, big, small, small. Okay, so I've got them on this end. You might have them on that end, depending which way you turned. But you have 2 small sections on one end. And first of all, we're going to cut off this little corner down the bottom. So that little square gone. Then we're going to come around to this side and just take out a little notch either side here, so we're making a very long flower pot there. And that's just to help the closure. And then only on these smaller tabs we're going to flower pot, so straight up all of these lines first, And then we're keeping the long ones straight, and so I'm just going to tuck that away, and we're just going to do a little flower pot on here. So by that I mean coming in slightly at the bottom, cutting up to the corner. So we're just taking, I mean they're tiny tabs anyway, so so I've still got these, don't cut them off, I've just tucked them underneath these ones here. Okay, so you will end up with, let me just get a piece of cardstock that you can see under there. That's what you'll end up with. Okay, so we've got rid of this skinny corner, so we're going to do the same on this one. So cut up there, and we're just going to come in slightly and cut that at an angle and an angle up there. So that's with big, small, big, small, small. These ones we're just cutting straight up to that next score line, and then on these little tabs only we're going to flower pot them. So come in at the bottom and cut out, you know, little triangles, one either side, so up into each corner. Okay, oops, I haven't got the right scissors either. I'll get there. Okay, so let me show you how to put these together. Again, like I said, both the same. So on the side where it would be bunching up like a little table, we are going to put, I'm just going to do one at a time, but we are going to put some tape, or you can use glue if you prefer, on this far end piece here. Okay, and then if you flip it over, so it's like a little turtle on its back, so we've got the tape on this end on the other side, and then on this big one here you just need one piece of tape here. Ooh. Okay, so a piece of tape on this side for this small skinny edge, flip it over, and one of these, doesn't really matter which, but this one's going to face the back. Okay, and again on this one, so I'm going to fold that edge over before I put some tape on it, and then the one on this side next to it, well, pretty much is the biggest one next to it. Okay, so let's take a pick tool. So we're going to leave the tape on this piece underneath for now. Okay, so fold these two skinny ends over, take this piece of tape off, and this will just fold over and meet that. Okay, so you don't need to be lining it up, you just flip it over. Fold the two small ends in, and the one that doesn't have tape on, take this backing off and line that up. Okay, it won't go right to that edge, but get it as straight as you can. So same on this one, fold the two end pieces over, so the tape, no tape, leave this tape on here, so tape, no tape on the two skinny kind of pieces. Just going to fold my tape in a bit there because it went over, and then fold this section over, and you'll see it will just line up perfectly. Okay, two small ends in, the one without tape, and then take this backing off here. Cool. Okay, so there are your boxes, and what we want to do, we want to glue these together, so have them whichever way round you want, but just put the glue on the small side because, you know, obviously we don't want it coming up. So for this I will use liquid glue, just because I want to be able to move it, because I want these to be perfectly lined up at the bottom as well. Okay, so they're just, you can see they're lining up at the bottom like that. I'm just going to hold them together for a second just to make sure we're pretty, oh, come apart, Tracy, too quick. Okay, I'm going to leave them to one side just to dry off for a sec. Okay, let's continue. So this piece here, which measured 3.5 by 3 3/4, and then you're going to layer your Lost Lagoon cardstock on top of that, and the way it's going to go is this way. So when we put this on the back eventually, you'll see it's the same width. You don't want it to have lots hanging either side. I was just checking then. All right, yeah. Okay, so let's glue this together. So again, just some liquid glue will be fine for now. I've got a feeling my washing machine's going to beep in a minute, and it's really loud and annoying, but you might not hear it on the video. I mean, it's great, it lets me know when it's done, but it's loud. Okay, so next piece, next thing we're going to do, oh gosh, it is beeping. Let's see how irritating it is. I might go and turn it off in a sec. So I want these to go this way, and we're going to line them up right at the bottom here. So you can see they fit side to side. Like I said, I designed it that way. So we're going to put some glue on the back of here. Doesn't have to be all the way over. And we just want to, so we're going to be covering up a little bit of this paper. That's why I got it measured. I designed it that way. So just check that you're pretty much where you need to be, and that's why the liquid glue is really handy. You want these at the bottom. Okay, and then just give them a press with your bone folder inside, just being careful not to slide that over. Okay, I mean, if they're slightly out, it's not the end of the world, but you know, try and keep them straight if you can. So let's pop these pieces on here. Bless her, I think my daughter's just going to sort out the washing machine. She did. She knows I'm filming, so she probably knows that was bothering me. Okay, so yeah, make sure you got your birds the right way up. They do, some of them are slightly kind of sideways or upside down, but get the majority of them. Like I say, if you're using other papers that doesn't have a pattern, it's not so important. So pop that one on. So pretty. I loved this Lost Lagoon layer. I try and come up with a different calendar every year, and my ladies kind of know it's coming in January, and they look forward to getting it. Sometimes I think, oh, you know, maybe they don't want one this year, but they always do, and I always include the calendar so that it's the right size as well. Okay, let's go back to cut this one now. It's dried off. So all I did was pop it in the groove up here. Am I in shot there? I can't actually see. Pop it in that groove there, so you kind of got these pieces either side that stops it moving too much, and then line this end up, so we're going diagonally across the middle. I tend to start in the middle because I don't like it to scuff the corners, and there we have it. We've got 2 layers, you know, so you can make 2 of these out of that. Okay, so let's bring this one back in. Now I designed this again, like I said, so that it would fit this, but only just, you don't have a lot. If we look on this side, you want to stick it just so that these white pieces are just about to poke over the top. Obviously we don't want to see them. So you've only got 1/4 of an inch to put some glue on the other side. So I'm just going to do it on this piece, either really, but just make sure that you don't come down too far. If you do, you can always trim off the little white pieces if they show. Let's get the right side. But I think it's quite nice that you can use them as a bit of a guide to stick this. So I might have come over too far one way. That looks about right. Cool. So I'm just going to stick that down. Okay. So let's see what's next. So we've got our base here, we've got our background. Let's go ahead and show you how to do the mechanism here, shall we? No, we'll finish this off first actually. So we've got our bird cut out, and like I said, you need another scrap of pecan pie, and we're going to use these 2. So it was the second largest and the third largest circles in the stylish shapes, and I just like to fix them together with a bit of washi tape. You can use a post-it, or you can just, you know that it's going to go through. And then in the middle of this as well, we're just going to cut these 2. Thrifty, hey? And I've got some more washi tape here. Let's see, try and get them, you know, fairly even. It doesn't really show. This little one was a kind of add-on. This piece, I thought it looked like a little hook for the bird table, so I quite like that. Okay, so I've cut these out and I'll be right back. Okay, get rid of that scrap. So with this, just kind of guide your nail in there, and you can always get the take your pick tool and just, it's a bit like opening a clam or a scallop or something. You just kind of that's how I open it anyway. So again, just get it going a bit, and then just pull that out, and it doesn't bend then. It quite likes that. Okay, so with this one, I wanted to originally put it on dimensionals to have, because I thought the hole should be popping out more than the birds, but you could see the strips round and I didn't like it, so I'm actually going to pop the birds up slightly the wrong way round, but it works, it's fine, I was happy. So just put some glue, obviously we don't want it showing, so just some dots, probably best around, come out, I'm trying to go too fast, that's the problem. So put some dots around, it's like a little porthole, isn't it? That looks a bit big. Okay. And then we're going to pop this in the center here-ish. Doesn't have to be perfect. Oh, good job, really. As I moved it. I think my finger was a bit sticky and it pulled it up. Okay, I'm happy with that. Okay, and then pop some dimensionals on the back of this one. I think I just put 3, probably. Maybe 4. Don't spread those out too evenly. Backing's off. Okay, and then just center this. I'm just going to pull it up to me so I can see what I'm doing here. So cute. There we go. On there. Right, let's show you the mechanism now. So you're going to fold on all of these score lines here. Actually, I am going to put the top bit on. I promise you I will get around to this bit. I'll show you anyway. So basically, it's just going to form a triangle. There's no easy way. There's no flat way to tell you to put it together. So you're just going to have to eyeball it. But that tab is going to go on the inside. There's a smaller one. So you're just making that triangular shape there. So bend this one over. I think I'm just going to use tape for this. So tape on that one. So like I say, that one's bent over and it's going to tuck inside there. So I know I usually try and design things that you can fold it flat, but there's no way with this one being the triangle. So also it doesn't have to be perfect. It's literally just to stand it up, because originally I was going to put the calendar up here and then I decided to make it a birdhouse. So it was just going to hide too much of the gorgeous birds, so that's when I added the stand at the bottom. So with this we're going to attach it to the back here. Are we first? No, I attached it to this first actually. So you're going to attach it to the narrower side, so the 3.5, yeah, 3.5 edge. And there will be a bit of a gap either side because I didn't want it to show behind here. But you are going to line it up right at the back. And that's just so that I could fit my calendar on. Okay, like, you know, there wasn't loads and I didn't want to make it really long here. So let's put some glue on this time because I want to be able to slide it a bit if I don't get it quite in the right place. Do you know, I took a whole day designing this. And I really think it was worth it in the end, but I had it in my head and then I kept trying things and it wasn't quite working. But yeah, pleased with how it turned out. I'm just going to hold that there a sec. You can probably get the bone, oh, you can get the bone folder in to push it down a bit. Okay, so you can see that was right up at the back there, and then the little kind of bit of the Lost Lagoon showing. Meanwhile, I'm just going to pop this on. So I used a little mini glue dot on the back of here and just, whoops, rolled it up like that. And popped it on here. I'm doing this and then I'm going to go to bed because I'm picking my upline up, Liz Shannon. Loads of you know Liz Shannon. Oh, going to go off a bit. I'm picking her and her hubby up from the airport, Heathrow. And I need to leave here at 5:30 in the morning, so yeah, I'm going to bed shortly after this. So we've just been away for a while. I've missed her, so it'll be nice to catch up. Okay, so this one here now is going to sit on here, and I just want to reassure you that there's meant to be a gap here. Okay, so it's going to sit flush to this. This will go, there's a slight border again either side, but it needs to balance so that that's flat on there. I'm just trying to show you the best way. So it's really flat against this here, and that's right at the base, but there is a gap under there. That's fine. That's what I wanted. Okay, so put it on this piece, the glue, because this is the smaller one. Because like I say, this is wider than this piece, but I just wanted to make sure it didn't show. And then tilt that back, just see that you've got it even each side. My original one, like I say, I wasn't going to put this stand on, so it's, you know, a bit torn at the back where I had to redesign it. But I think this works well. Just hold it there for a minute because, you know, we want to make sure it's stuck. Okay, so nearly there. Now, yeah, so these little calendars I got on Amazon, the Baker Ross ones. I think that's a UK company, but I mean, I tend to get, they're pretty standard sizes anyway, but these ones measure 2 7/8 by 1 7/8, so hence the little border here. But I didn't really want loads of the pecan pie showing, but I wanted some showing. So I just glued the calendar to this one. Like I said, I'll put, if you're in the UK, I'll put the link, UK and Ireland, I'll put the link in the bottom description for these particular calendars. But just resize slightly. There's enough of a gap kind of all around that you can, if yours is slightly bigger, but don't go, you know, too much bigger, obviously. That's something sticky there, washi tape, I think. So, and then I did pop this on dimensionals. So I want to make sure it's really level. I'm going to put 6 on here, I think. Okay. And we're nearly there. I mean, there's lots of pieces to it, but once you've cut them, and if you're doing, you know, if you're doing several, just cut all the layers at one go. And it's actually quite thrifty. Like, I didn't use more than a whole piece of thick basic white cardstock. And then you want to just kind of hover this in and get it roughly with a similar border around. And then finally this sentiment, and so you'll need to cut a piece of pecan pie, and then I'm going to stamp first and then cut, because, and if this happens to you, check your stamps before, you know, just after you order them. Mine here, you can see nice and central on the label, but actually the stamp, the actual print, is dropped down a bit, so I can't really line it up very well, and I should have noticed that before, and you know, demonstrator support, they would have, customer services, they would have changed that for me. But anyway, so that's why I'm going to stamp first. Let's just get a scrap of basic white cardstock, and we're going to stamp in Lagoon. And I just use this from, I thought this was a really good stamp set for this, actually. Time to make new memories. It's a new year, let's make some more memories. So from Next Destination, that's still in the main annual catalogue. It's been in for a couple of, has it been in for a couple of years or just 1 year? I'm not sure. Anyway, if you want to get it before our new annual catalogue comes out. It's a bit blurry. Comes out in May. That's fine. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut these out. I'll be right back. Okay, so we're going to put a couple of dimensionals in between these. So pop them on the white. 3, I think. Don't do them too close to the edge because we're going to offset these. Come on. Whoops. And yeah, so just slightly offset these. And then we're going to, put them on more dimensionals. Why not? I love creating 3D projects, and especially when it's something like a calendar, or, you know, something for a purpose, like a Christmas, I don't know, sleigh or something. You know, it's this is what I love doing most. It might take me a bit of time to design it, but I get there in the end, and then I like to be able to share it with you. Okay, so this one goes on there, on the diagonal, and then I'm using, these are my favorite little gems from the large catalogue, the annual catalogue Tinsel Gems 3-pack. So I'm going to use, I if it'll pick up this bigger one actually. Oh, it does. I'm going to use this, not quite the right colour, but actually I thought it goes really well. A couple on there. And there we have it. I hope you enjoy making this, my Flight and Airy birdhouse desk organiser and calendar. Take care, see you soon, bye.